All right, we are live. Greetings, fellow traders. Let me get this tweeted out so everybody can join in here. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good, good, good. I think we're live. Make sure this is coming through okay. Looks like it's coming through. I'm just not seeing it coming through on the video. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me make sure it's coming. Oh, yeah, it looks like it's coming through now. Good, good, good. All right. Well, looks like it's coming through. I'm just not. Good. Well, I hope everybody had a great trading day today. So today is Wednesday, April 8th, 2020, and tomorrow is the last trading day. So we won't be doing another session tomorrow night because it's Friday is Good Friday, and we'll be off for the market holiday. So today we're going to be finishing up our discussion on day trading chop slop with inside days. I had one more day planned, but we'll actually kind of incorporate the two because they're actually very interesting. So today we're going to be talking about inside days, right, with the chop slop. So before we get started here today, everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. So please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good. All right. Well, let's check and see where we left off in the market today. So you can see here on the monthly chart, they must be using the same tools we are because there was an article, I think it was, maybe it was Barron's that said, we're back in bull market territory. And it is kind of true, right? We are over the 50-monthly moving average, so we're no longer in bear market territory. Whether we're in a bull market right now is something else, to say. But I guess they're probably basing it on percentage increase and all that stuff from the recent lows. But that being said, it is pretty impressive where we are on the monthly chart. So this is good, right? If we can stay above this, this was just sort of a blip on the radar with the Corona crash, and then we're working our way back up again. So we have here the weekly chart. So just remember on the weekly chart, right, we have this 30 weekly moving average, great area of a change of composure, right? And so we saw back in 2018 the October to December lows before the Christmas reversal, right? We were below these levels. So we're still below it right here, right? So, but in the meantime, we are taking this bullish engulfing week to the upside. Yes, last week was a pause week in a way. It was a little bit bearish. I mean, when you consider that the length of the candle was 193 points. But this week so far is 186 points to the upside. So we're definitely seeing some follow through off of that bullish engulfing candle. So that's a good thing. Daily chart today, pretty impressive stuff, right? So we had the macro downward trend line of the SPX. We had our first breakout here last Monday, right? And that was quickly reversed as it failed really. It actually took a long time to break above that, and then it came back a little bit faster. We gapped it down the next day, kind of chopped around here, got back above the trend line. And then this Monday, lots of action in the futures as we broke above those levels. We got a nice gift horse gap to the upside there, and then they flushed it, right? Almost 100 points back down, right? But today, back up again, this candle here over 97 points back up plus 90 on the day, right, a gap up and, continued. Now, the only interesting thing is we didn't quite close above yesterday's highs, but it was a nice move to the upside today. Let's take a look at the price action here and see how that behaved intraday. Let's go to the 15-minute chart and take a look here. So we can see, right, we had we flushed down at the end of the day yesterday. We had a pretty complex close yesterday. Big green candle, big red candle, big green candle, big red candle. Right, we gapped up today. We came back. We kind of tested those levels. We didn't fill that closing gap down there, but we came back up off of this hammer today out of the 15 orb. Nice hammer here out of the 15 orb high for a nice move up. A little bit of a bull flag up again. Here we got a nice short on this little pullback here today. I like the shooting star here. I liked all the upper shadows. Nice move down. Then we had a reversal doji right here, and that worked its way to the upside today. Tagged a fresh high and then back down a little bit. So we couldn't quite close above yesterday's highs, and that's a really important level to close above. But let's see if we get any strength into tomorrow on that. We'll take a look at the futures in a minute. These are the levels that we provide to our members before each market open, and you can see they're quite valuable, right? So obviously we had the prior day's levels. We couldn't quite fill the gap. Held this daily pivot level, chopped around these levels right here. We showed here that we wanted to get to the next level with a strong candle, worked our way up here, get to the next levels, back down with a hammer, and then up to basically get by yesterday's highs. I mean, we closed just below it, just by a few cents, but it is important. It's a key level for us to have closed above today. So let's see if that gets any follow through tomorrow. Right now, let's take the futures. Futures been a little bit back and forth this evening, so we're basically red to green to red and all that stuff. So we had a nice push up this morning, a real choppy open here in the futures this evening, as we essentially triangled down here, right, and had this nice triangle here, and then we started to gap up. We pushed up out of this nice confirmation candle here, and we got nice follow through the upside. Then we chopped around a little bit, a little chop slop here, right? We can see we're working on a bigger triangle right now. Well, if we kind of, actually if we extend this out here, we extend this out here, you can see this, right? So we started to break down below this triangle here, trend line, this geometric level right here. Obviously, this 2740 was a key level. We got a big momentum move down just now as we brought the futures slightly red here. So we'll see if we can get any strength into this going into tomorrow. So we'll keep an eye on that this evening and see where we're at in the morning and see what they have to do. So again, tomorrow, last day of the week. We have a short week this week, so not surprised to see some chop slop this week, right? So let's that's what we're gonna be finishing up and talking about this week. So today we're gonna be talking about inside days. My plan was to talk more specifically about triangles tomorrow, but we're actually gonna kind of tie the two together today. So let's do that as we get into today. So what do we mean by the inside days? Well, we talk about inside days a lot, but these are really important really important candles. That we like to look at and help us give us direction, right? Because why is that? Well, when we have an inside day, it shows price indecision, right? It shows that price hasn't broken out of the prior day's highs and lows. It's just kind of hanging out in the prior day's price range. So when it gets in there, it gets really compressed and it tries to decide on a direction. And once it breaks through those inside levels, a lot of times we see follow through on that. So here we had an inside candle right here. We couldn't break to the upside, right? Ended up forming the downward trend line right here. We actually gapped down below that. We pushed below it, and then we just continue to work our way down off of that day. Not saying every inside candle is going to give a big move, but it definitely gives a point of interest, right? And so we try to get above it here. We got it slowly. It was only at the end of the day here that we got over this inside day, so it wasn't a big break. We ended up getting below it and then gapping below those levels. We kind of hung out in these levels again. But what are the inside days? Well, the inside days themselves just kind of tell you that for that day we're kind of in the chop slop zone, right? So, but one of the cool thing is when you see an inside candle, typically on a lower term time frame, we see a triangle, right? So those inside days are really important, just as triangles are important. And what they do is they help you see more clarity out of the chop slop. So we know what an inside day is forming, right? That we're in the chop, right? It's not until we break out of those inside days or we break out of those triangles that we start to move again, right? For the most part, if we can get a good confirmation out of it, right? Does that make sense? Hopefully. Okay. So for example, if we go to, let's take a look at Apple today. Okay, so Apple had a big day, right? This day, where we had the double inside day right here. We had a big day a couple days ago, right? We had a big day yesterday, right? 12 points day. And today we had a 6-point day, which is typically a big day for Apple, but these days that's a reasonably small day. So we had essentially a narrow range inside day today. So that when we look at our candles, we're trading intraday. Sometimes it helps to just kind of take a snap back out. If we're not breaking out of the levels of the prior highs and lows, and we're forming an inside day on the intraday time frame, right, that kind of gives you a clue that, hey, maybe we're in the chop zone right now. We might not want to trade this, and we might want to wait till this day closes or wait till we get to a range break off of the other key levels, or if we break out of the range of the prior day. So if we go to Apple and we go to the shorter term time frames, what we'll see is that today was an inside day within this range right here. But what that does is it shows you that on the larger term time frames that we're basically working on a triangle, right? See that? So this inside day ended up, here's the prior day, right? It was a big candle, and when we're inside that range, we're kind of chopping around in there, and you can see that on the daily chart. You see we're forming a larger picture triangle, right? And so here you can see we held these trends, but it didn't give very many clear moves today. We had some chop, right, on the intraday time frame. So that makes it a little more difficult to trade, right? We don't want to necessarily be in that chop slop. So I'm not surprised. Usually after a big move, I'm not surprised to see an inside day. Sometimes you'll hear me say it, oh, it was a big day today, right? Maybe tomorrow will be an inside day, right? So here we had this first breakout of the, first strong breakout of the downward trend line. If we don't see any follow through the upside, we might have an inside day. We actually had a double inside day right here. It broke to the upside, then it gapped down, right? So you can see here we're doing the exact same thing. We saw this on a lot of different charts today. We saw this on NVIDIA today, right? So big candle yesterday, right? Big reversal candle yesterday. I have another big candle. So not surprised to see the market taking a breather, right? So that's what we're seeing right here. So we have an inside day today. So we go to the lower term time frames, right? You can see here that we are in the chop zone, right? We've got a a big triangle forming, right? So that's the key right there. So the inside days, we look for a breakout of the higher lows of those, but at the same time too, if we treat it as a triangle, we can, if we zoom out like this, we do it just like we talked about the other week, right? On the breakout strategies, right? We want to see a nice breakout of these triangles, and then we want to see follow through to the upside or downside out of those breakout moves. So it's a great combination to use as inside days to kind of zoom out a little bit and look to see what's going on with it. And a lot of times we see a triangle there, and then we find out that we're actually in the chop zone. So when we can look at that daily chart, we see we're at the middle of a range. It's a good idea to kind of step back and, hey, maybe I don't want to trade this thing, for big breakout moves intraday, unless I can zoom out and see that there's a bigger triangle working on it, and that we can get out of it. Like right here, we would have had a triangle right here, but we hardly had any breakout moves out of that triangle, right? All these little volume right here, no real breakout candles of any sort in there, and we can see that the chop was continuing. So let's see what tomorrow has in store. It should be interesting. The futures are back and forth tonight, so we may have some strength. We may be able to get some of these triangles into tomorrow, and then hopefully get out of the chop slop, and maybe we'll start to really actually get into a bull market and start going up again. But again, in order really for that to really happen, we need to continue to see recoveries in the market, right? Because Corona is still weighing heavy on the market and on businesses, and there's a lot of stuff coming out there. The government, saying that hey, things are getting better, potentially, right? But we saw that back in 1929 as well, right? After every move in the depression, they were things are getting better, and then they just kept on getting worse. So we need that proof there, but we'll see how it goes throughout all this. But anyway, hopefully all that is makes sense, and hopefully you find that helpful. At this point, if anybody has a question or chart requests, please feel free to plug those in the chat window, and we'll get through as many as we can. Try to wrap up as early as possible so all get a good night's sleep and have another awesome trading day tomorrow. So good stuff. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Shirley sent in a few here via email, so let's take a look here. So OSTK. So Overstock had a good day today, guys. In fact, incredible breakout candle right here. It got through a lot of major levels with some great volume. This one looks good. In fact, it needs to be on the bullish radar for tomorrow for sure. I mean, just a great candle with some great volume. So definitely in the bullish breakout. So I like how it closed over all these levels. I like the 50-day moving average. I like the volume. It's got a little upper shadow, but let's see if it can break out over those highs. If it doesn't gap up crazy tomorrow. It's already up 10 cents, looks like, after hours. So definitely going to keep an eye on there. PCG, whoa, there's a breakout candle right there. Now, this is one I typically don't like to mess with because it's, utilities, can be a little complex. So this one is definitely a drama stock. But here we go. Here's your breakout levels right here. We certainly broke above that. Nice candle, nice volume. Let's see if that can get some movement to the upside again tomorrow too. Oxy, I'd say this is one I'm waiting on a breakout candle for. We love this one. We like the trend line right here. Here's kind of your levels. We did close above this breakout level right here, but we didn't really do it with volume and a lot of strength. I want to see like a candle like that PCG. I want to see a candle like that Overstock. But this is definitely one to keep your eyes on here. This could be an interesting one, especially with some oil meetings allegedly coming up tomorrow. Snap looks pretty good. I like the volume here. I like how we closed above all these levels. Decent candle, decent volume, right? Heading up to the 50 moving average right there. So Snap's looking good, and pins pretty decent here too. I like the hammer. Right, like the hammer right here. So we're kind of working our way up. It looks like I had drawn a channel on a smaller time frame here. So watch out. We might be in a little resistance, might be a little extended here. Sometimes hammers can be that extended because they came back down. They really pushed to put it in the close. A lot of folks see it as bullish, but sometimes they can be that hanging man, just kind of hang out there. I like the close of these levels. I do like the volume on pins today. Let's see if that gets some follow through as well tomorrow. So good stuff. Michael, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, let's take a look. So we got Boeing. Oh yeah, here we go. Boeing, inside day. Just to very appropriate. Lots of inside days on our go-to list today. Here we can see we're right at the trend line right here. There's a couple of our key levels that we like to use. Whoa, we got tons of key levels here. Let's see this here. So yeah, this is a little more accurate. So you can see here that we're below this downward trend line. And we pushed below it yesterday, finally, after all its bad news, and we went inside day today. So we're kind of at this point of indecision, and let's see if we could break out to the upside tomorrow. If we do, it'll show that we're getting over this trend line right here. If we break down tomorrow, it might actually want to come back and retest this trend line here. We got some closing gaps below too, so definitely a good one to keep an eye on there. ZS. Strong move today, right? Double inside day a couple days ago, right? Gapped up, pulled back a little bit. Now we're closing above those levels, right? Finally, we couldn't close above this day. We're right here. It looks like we're right above that level too, so that's good. Pretty sneaky move right here on ZS. Not a lot of volume, but let's see if it continues to have strength. I do like the candle on that one. Good stuff. Matt, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, MDT. They had some good news today. Like working on, I think producing more, like producing respirators and things like that. So it's come right to the downward trend line right here. It rejected it the other day at the 50 moving average. I like how it closed right above it. Let's see if we can close above yesterday's highs, right, bullishly, and then maybe we can start working our way up and get up over that cloud there. Roku. Roku, just been kind of struggling along here. It keeps every time it looks like it's going to try to break out, it comes back in again. We could look at this as more of a larger bull flag that it's been working on, but inside area here over the ADMA with an upper shadow. So just something to keep an eye on there. It did have some great intraday price action today, by the way. Huge move up right off an inside candle up. Double inside right here, which didn't get any follow through, which kind of shows bearishness, right? Double inside should normally get some more momentum. It couldn't. It progressed with an inside candle right here, which ended up breaking down to the upside. So great up and down moves today on Roku to make money up both on the long side and the short side, and it ended up coming down today with an inside day. So fun stuff on the intraday time frame. Kind of boring and a little bit concerning there on the day on the daily chart. So something to look at there. Diz. Okay, so we got a nice short on this one today off of yesterday's candle, and then it kind of came back in and held the ADMA today. So not trying to force anything, right? Just took profit and all that stuff. And it should be up a little bit after hours. Yeah, there it is. So up a little bit after hours there. So they came out and announced, what better thing to do when the stock is struggling than to come out with awesome subscriber numbers. So I think they came out saying they had like 50 million subscribers to their Disney Plus. Yeah, paid subscribers globally. So big news for that one today. So look for some action on Disney tomorrow. Possible 15 orb stock today. So big move up here after hours. So good stuff on that one. Nice. Yeah, my pleasure. Bagish, what's going on? Good evening. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for tuning in. Jorge, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in, man. Appreciate it. Hey, everybody. Ernesto, what's up? Good evening. Yeah, let's take a look. So we got Apple and Tesla. Let's take a look at Apple. I believe both have inside days today. So Apple, pretty good here. I do like how it closed above this prior breakout level right now. We're at inside day here off of yesterday's gap up. So again, let's see if we break out above that. Again, now we need to get and close above that candle right there. That's kind of a key one for it. But hopefully it can keep working its way up there. Tesla, getting tight here, guys. So let's see if that trend line pops up here for us. There it is. Okay, so we have our breakout level right here. Let's see if we can close above yesterday's high and see if Tesla wants to make a run for it. That would be pretty fun as well. So, I don't know. They didn't really have good news today. They said they were like, cutting the salaries of their employees and furloughing some and all that stuff. This is automotive business is a tough one for these type of economic issues. Any type of retail, auto, especially auto with high, expensive stuff. But people love some Teslas, so. I think I saw some posts too of folks that got them delivered, didn't have to talk to anybody. So Tesla might just keep being Tesla. We'll see. So they're doing what they can. Good stuff. Nice. Thanks, Ernesto. Jorge, yeah. So you believe important OPEC tomorrow? That's right. Yep. I believe it's supposed to be Monday, and I think they shifted it over to tomorrow. So like I said, allegedly. So we'll see if they end up following through with that tomorrow. But yeah, that could be very interesting for oils. Keep a look on that Oxy. Right, XOM, CVX, things like that. So see if they get a move tomorrow off of that stuff there. So good stuff. Bagish, yeah. So let's take a look. Costco, dun. Might be a buy the dip opportunity tomorrow. Okay, so we had kind of a hammerish type close today over the 50-day moving average. They came out with their same store sales today, and it was actually a beat on those numbers, but the market just sold it off. I think everybody knew they were going to beat because of all the lines, right? Of people who are standing outside of Costco trying to get eggs and milk and things like that for the Corona, and they've been packed, right? So every picture you see of Costco being packed and all that stuff. So they said here, Costco reports a 9.6% comparable sales increase in March, short of Wall Street projections, but it was an increase. So I guess they just fell short of projections, whatever the case is. So and maybe they just set the bar too high and then they just kind of sold it off right here. But you can see they're already trying to buy the dip here. One of the things you can see, one of the things you can look at, right, when you have these big moves after hours, right, especially even intraday, you just put a Fibonacci on that first candle there, right, and just kind of see how we go, right? So if you got stuck in this thing, right, a 50% retrace is a nice place to get out, so that's pretty good right there. Let's see if we can get to that 61.8% retrace tomorrow. But this could be a good buy the dip opportunity because Costco is just, it's just a super, super strong company. So, it's had a lot of big moves right here, so this might be just a way for Wall Street to get in it, right? That's kind of one of those concepts there. So good stuff on that nice chart. MSFT. Microsoft inside day today. right at the 50-day moving average. See if that can get some follow through tomorrow. Again, we're seeing a lot of these inside days. It's not increased volume, but we're seeing big volume on it. I love seeing increased volume on an inside day, but it's a little bit decreased area, but it's still good volume. So that means they're still gearing up on this one. So that could be interesting as well. Boeing with the compressed inside day below the downward trend line there. Zoom got Zoom today. So keep an eye on this one here. Huge volume today. Again, Google announced that they forbade their employees to use Zoom anymore. So that was kind of a big news on that one. You can see we already got the 50% retrace off of that down move, right? If you just go that full move right there. So they came back out and said it was only for their laptops, but they could still use Zoom on their mobile devices, things like that. But it does, bring to attention, just the, some of the inherent security issues that they have, right, with Zoom that they need to recover. Now, I use Zoom, and I get emails from them saying that they're working on this stuff, right? So, I mean, they're definitely working on it. But, that type of news there can weigh heavily on it, especially, how sensitive things are, with this, essentially this, the corona recession that's going on right now. So, and then TDOC, let's take a look here. So, TDOC just struggling here. This is one of those ones, it's probably going to be really messy here. Yeah, this is one of those, it's just tough to read, right? I mean, we're kind of in the middle of this crazy range right here. It's a big megaphone formation. We're in the middle of the megaphone. It's just tricky. We had a double inside day the other day. We gapped down off of it, doji sandwich down, and we're just getting some follow through the downside. So see how it handles the 50-day moving average. That was one thing that Zoom did, right? It's been holding its 50 moving average, right? It's actually kind of holding this trend line here too. So the ADMA is curling down, but it doesn't mean that this thing can't try to work its way up. So just be careful. It can be in the chop zone for a while. We had an inside day. They gave a nice push up today, and then it came back down. So something to look at there. So good stuff. Thank you, Bagesh. ZEK, what's going on? Yeah. Oh, sorry. I put in. All right, SPCE. So SPCE had a little bit of a spike intraday today, guys, but I don't know, if it was really any news that was going on. The Virgin Galactic Spikes traders circulate page from site showing prototype patient oxygen hoods. So I guess they're working on some, maybe using their space age technology to help make some corona support devices, things like that. But really, ultimately, just kind of gave us an inside day today. Here you can see we're actually working on a bigger triangle on this one. See if we can break out of this one. It could be good. So that inside day up might give a nice move. If we can see that with some volume, right, we might take a look at this thing and see if we can get over that. We still have this pivot here to get above as well. So some pretty interesting stuff. But intraday, though, had some nice spikes, right? Intraday, but that was about it. It's drifting up after hours. So let's see how it closes tomorrow. Definitely a good one to keep on the radar. Jay, hello. Thanks for tuning in. Seneca, what's going on? Stonks. Howdy. Amazon. Yeah, let's take a look at Amazon. So, Amazon's kind of been on the bullish radar. It's tough, right? It's a tough one to trade, right? We've been this nasty, you can see all this stuff in here. But, you kind of go to the bullish radar right here. We're kind of simplify it, right? We're over the downward trend line. We're over the pivot levels right here. We closed bullishly. We've had some decreasing volume the last couple days, but it's still kind of showing strong right here, right? We're above the cloud. It's they're kind of super busy making deliveries here, with everybody at home. So it could be interesting. So it's still kind of showing some relative strength. And then Chewy. Oh, I heard Buddy in the background. Wow, Chewy with a move there. So yeah, it pulled back off of that inside day a couple days ago, which took us out of this upward trend line. And then today, wow, what a move today on Chewy intraday. That was a good one. Some good volume today too. Online pet food sales, dogs are happy. JP Morgan raised its price target not too long ago. So it's just had a good day today. So let's just double check here the price action intraday. Yeah, so just a good move up, inside down, held the 15 orb up, and then just got a nice spike to the upside right there. So good. I like the candle, right? Just a big upper shadow right here into the prior selling zone. So we got that going on. Michael, what's going on? If Oxy fills the gap, I know it would be glorious, wouldn't it? So, big gap up there. This is a good one here to look at. I'd like to see a little bit bigger candle, but, if you go with, goodness, if you go with the 25, even if you go like a month out, if you go like the May 25s, they're like 40 cents, right? And there's like 1,300 volume today on that one. So, if it filled that gap, that would be a strong one for sure. Good. Definitely one to keep on the radar, especially tomorrow to see what happens after tomorrow. Right, yeah, exactly. That's a man-witch right there, for sure. Jay, what's going on? Hope you're doing. Yeah, so you got a few I recognize today. So Bank of America actually had a pretty good day today. We get above. Here's the. Let's see. We got the downward trend lines right here. We got above this level today. Didn't have the increasing volume, but had a nice candle today. Had some strong price action, right? So big move up. decent pullback, another big move up today. So it had some good intraday trade opportunities on that one. The TLT, the bonds inside day doji with a curling over 8 EMA, so just be careful with that one. It could be interesting. So, but that actually might be a sign of some more bullishness in the market. CY, wow, this thing's all over the place, isn't it? Huge gap down, back up again. Kind of these funky gaps up. I don't think I've ever messed with this. This is one I don't recognize. Wow, that's some craziness right there. Yeah, is this like an acquisition or something? Aerospace on Wall Street is about COVID slowdown. I'm not sure. I don't know if I'd mess with this thing. I don't even understand it. But cool. It looks like it's doing something. Maybe an iron condor on it. It's gonna be interesting. J.P. Morgan. Yep. So another strong, not as strong as Bank of America in terms of its chart. Didn't close above any major levels right here. Right here's your trend lines. This is a level it's definitely got to get above. Right, you can kind of look at this as a trend line right here too. If we activate this and just kind of take it down from those highs, right, we're just starting to break out of there, and we got earnings coming up soon. So which is good too, guys. Next week, right? Earnings season starts again, so yay! Last earnings season wasn't so fun, right? It was kind of overwhelmed by the corona and all this stuff. But maybe everybody's expectations are so low that they'll all come out and beat this time and give us some nice fun moves on it. Let's take a look here. So Baidu. Yeah, Baidu getting hit basically on the all these Chinese names are getting kind of hit here on the lock-in issues, right? LK is still halted, right? Just kind of hanging out here, like we don't have a chart since the 6th now. So this is halted until further notice. Some people are saying that it's going to be halted for 30 days. Some people say it's going to be delisted and switch to the over-the-counter market. Who knows? They could declare bankruptcy. I mean, we don't know what's going on. It's just pending news right now. So we'll see on this one. So Baidu's kind of in that boat with the rest of them that just it's like, okay, like how much can we trust these names anymore, right? That type of stuff. So Heather, good evening. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, NVIDIA. Yeah, my pleasure. So NVIDIA, another inside day today. So we had a big move on Monday, another big move on Tuesday, and we finally started to calm down a little bit today. So we're kind of in the chop zone here. We have that inside day, right? You kind of go here, right? You kind of see what happened here, right? We can definitely see a couple triangles that were forming as we were in this inside day, and it looks like it's drifting up nicely here after hours. So let's see if we can get some strength on that one. Nice little inside day up. Maybe get us out of the cloud this time, which would be a good one. Al, what's going on? Yeah, what are you drinking? That's my grapefruit. So I like to slurp on those. So they're good and good for you. So, good stuff. Michael, yeah, you got a few others. Awesome. Good. Let's take a look here. So you got IVR. Lightning round. So IVR, nice hammer over the ADMA on that one. So just watch, make sure it's not a hanging man on that one. Dry. Amazingly got to move up there, even though nobody's going to restaurants. So that's kind of like a short squeezy type thing going on here. Your MFA is looking good. That's looking pretty good right here. I love that triple you had the other day when you found that one. PFE is pretty interesting. It looks like a foot long hot dog pattern right here. Right, this is reversal, right? Green candle, red candle, then a green candle. So it looks like a hot dog in there. So anyway, let's see if it breaks over today's highs and can take out the hot dog highs range. Square. Nice candle today, big move. We wanted to see how it was affected today by, Dorsey coming out and saying he's putting $1 billion of Square stock, investing into, the Corona cure. And so, obviously it responded favorably to that. So it kind of was gapped up today and had a real nice candle day with good volume. So I like how it closed above those levels. It's still a tricky one, but definitely one to look at. NYMT. Yeah, nice hammer on that one too. Gap up. Watch that gap that could potentially be tested there. But yeah, these mortgage ones should be interesting going forward for sure. And then and Caterpillar, nice candle today. Big inside candle it's sandwiched between the 200 MA and the 50 MA. So let's even get above that 200 on an inside day break on that one. The Nest, what's happening? Yeah, Docu, let's take a look. So Docu, tricky stuff, right? This is another one of those ones here where we're just kind of in this big megaphone pattern. It's really tough to kind of see what's going on. Plus we have this spinning top doji day here right in the middle of the range. So this is kind of hands off for me right now. Just really tricky ranges on that one. CCL, interesting, right? We did see a little bit of a squeeze on these cruise ships, right? But it's tough to see these things. really recovering anytime soon. We have a fresh lower here, so here's your fresh trend line off of that. We had a little bit of a breakout here, a little inside doji day today. These are getting some big volume. Had a big gap up yesterday because of the the Saudi stake in it allegedly, but it's just kind of chopping around now today, inside day today. But big volume on it, so definitely one to look at for some more movement. And then IWM. Yeah, ended up having a nice recovery here today after yesterday. Couldn't quite close above yesterday's highs, but it did, does have a higher high and a higher low, so could be working on a trend to the upside. Good, yeah. Tracy, what's going on? Good evening. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, here's another cruise liner right here. RCL, very similar to CCL there. Inside day, right? So, just kind of see if it breaks that inside day up here. It doesn't have, quite the same trend line as CCL does, so you got this big level that really needs to get above. So it's kind of blah, right? UAL, a lot of the airlines got some squeezes here, but again, they're still having major issues, right, as they continue to lose flights and basically, I think what was it, AAL, I think, or DAL, AAL, one of them came out today and said 100 of their flight attendants have corona. It's just like, good grief. So it wouldn't be surprised to see these things grounded, right? So if we get a big announcement, that might start to move the downside. STZ, big gap up yesterday on an upgrade, and double tops right here. So we got kind of these tweezer tops right here below the 50 moving average, but ended up reclaiming some of that range. So so far so good, kind of strong right there. It's a little tricky one to do, but good volume came in today. I think it was the upgrade today or yesterday. I can't even remember. So many upgrades. I had a price target cut yesterday, so. Anyway, something interesting to keep an eye on here. Looks like it had a lot of headlines today. Anything interesting after hours? No, not really. A couple of these, some of the pot names and stuff like that had some moves, say like Tilray, things like that. But watch these two upper shadows right here. It's kind of the key level to get above, right? Today's high. Let's see if we can close above that. It also, very off on that. And then we also have this big open gap below now. So it's in kind of a funky range right now. Oh yeah, my pleasure. Johnson & Johnson actually had a really nice day today. Strong candle. I like how it got over the cloud. Decreasing volume still. It doesn't mean today didn't go up. It just means how much commitment is there in this, right? So they may be trying to gear it up for an earnings run. We've got earnings coming up next week on Johnson & Johnson as earnings season starts. So definitely want to keep an eye on there. The Nest, yeah, SDGR. Let's take a look. SDGR. Getting pretty tight in this range right here. So we had this trend line right here. Here's kind of your levels you want to get out of, right? But we could do like a little bit of a triangle on this thing too. So just you can kind of see how tight this thing is getting. So it's kind of in the chop zone right now after its first attempt at a breakout of that downward trend line. CY did have a merger. Nice, thanks, Bagesh. Yeah, appreciate it. Jay, I know. LK, imagine that. So yeah, my pleasure. Thanks, man. Thanks for tuning in. Jim and for giggles, what's going on? Good to see you. Let's see. We got AMD. AMD, so inside day today, I like how it's holding the 50-day moving average. Right, had a big reversal yesterday, so let's see if see if we can break out of that one, try to get over the cloud on this AMD. And then URI. Interesting. This is a tough one to trade. This is a tricky one. Sometimes the options are pretty thin on it, but if you like trading the shares on it, it's getting there. A little upper shadow today. It's kind of getting out of this upward trend line. It's just a little bit interesting. You could almost consider it like a rising wedge, but it's working its way up here. If you look at it out of the trend line here, we have confirmed above the recent high, so you can kind of just put an upward trend line to see if it holds that trend. So good. And sugar on the grapefruit, yeah. Oh my goodness. So the Nest, what's going on? What are some stocks you are swinging? Well, right now not swinging too much with the volatility as high as it is, so we just have to be very, very precise with some of those things to see. But we'll take a look at some of these ones that are on the bullish radar from today. I really want to see the SPY, push above today's highs and close above it with some good volume. But with that volatility as high as it can be very, very tricky. So have to be precise. So good stuff. And with options, you could look at SPY, you could look at Facebook, some things with like a little bit more, a little bit better spreads on it. Some of these ones are getting a little bit funky out there that make it a little more challenging on the swing side of it. So, definitely some ones to look at. Other ones like Oxy could be interesting if it gives you a setup, some good spreads. It's the kind of stuff we look at. So good. Good stuff, guys. Well, I really appreciate everybody for tuning in tonight. It's been a great discussion this week on day trading the chop slop. So hopefully you guys found it helpful and found some tidbits that can help your trading. Really appreciate it. If anybody is new here, definitely click subscribe on YouTube. It's always a helpful thing. And please click the like button. And if you're new here too, definitely check out the links in the description too. So So good stuff. Well, I hope everybody has a wonderful evening. Thank you again, everyone, for tuning in. We will catch you guys tomorrow at the Good Morning Market Prep, and see you guys throughout the day. I hope everybody has a great night. Stay healthy out there, everybody. Get a good night's sleep, and remember your risk first and stay safe so you can stay in the game. And I'll talk to you guys soon.